Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm just going to have a little bit of a talk about a couple of my cameras and try and sort of indicate where I'm sort of heading with the photography world as to far as which cameras I like the most and which ones I want to keep and which ones I want to sell and all that jazz. I must confess that over the last couple of years, maybe not quite 2 years, I've been very much falling in love with the Micro Four Thirds system. Not really, maybe not really into full frame mirrorless cameras of the major camera manufacturers, but I bought a couple of Micro Four Thirds cameras off of my son a while back, and I'm going to show you those. We'll show them to you now just quickly. One is the Lumix GH1, that little one there, and that's got a fixed 40, what is it? It's an aspherical 46 millimeter, I think, lens on it. No, sorry, it's a 20 millimeter fixed lens, a little what they call a pancake lens. It's a fixed lens, and it's f1.7. And so that effectively becomes a 40 millimeter lens in 35 millimeter terms when you use it. And that's a beautiful little camera. It's got a little flip out screen at the back and does most things I want it to do. And but at the same time, my son wanted to get rid of this. This was the first proper camera he bought. He also decided to get rid of this one too, which was his second one he got, which is the Lumix GH2, and that's got a 40 to 140 zoom lens on it. And I love this camera. I love both of them actually. And I also have Olympus OMD EM5 Mark II, which is also the Micro Four Thirds system. I've got about 3 lenses that go with that, and I've got 2 lenses that go with this system here, and they're all interchangeable. That's what I like about the Micro Four Thirds system. And I love this ability to, I mean, that's the size of them, and the fact that you've got a 14 to 140 lens that because of the crop factor, it becomes a 28 to 280, which is a really useful zoom range, and for both video and stills and whatever. And these are beautiful lenses, and I'm going to show you shortly some shots that I took a while back. I think I've done a video on this one. We went to a market that, a nursery, the Virginia nursery out the other side of Adelaide. And I did a little video on that. And some of the shots that were in that are from this camera. But I walked around with that camera there, the GH2, with the 14 to 140 zoom lens. That's all I used. And apart from that lens and that camera, I just used the iPhone to do some of the video that I did that day. Anyway, I'll show you some of the stills in a minute, but I really like the look of where things are going with Micro Four Thirds with both Panasonic and Olympus, the new OMD system. I'm sort of got my sights, I think, on the Olympus system, and with that in view, I'm going to start. Well, I've been trying to force myself to sell a lot of my camera gear over the years. In particular, I'm trying to get into a situation where I sell cameras that I don't want to sell, so I can force myself to sell them and just not sort of hang on to these things like they're things that you worship, because that's not a good thing at all. And, you almost treat them like your kids, some of these cameras. Anyway, I want to start selling some so I can probably get a decent Micro Four Thirds system, both Panasonic and or Olympus, and use the lenses that I've already got as well. So there you go. You can look up the reviews on this. I looked up a review. It's a 16 megapixel camera. The video on it's really good. All the settings you've got under the sun on it. You can look up the reviews and the specification. I looked up an old DP review of this camera when it came out, and there's lots of comparisons in there, and you can look at that and get all the specifications under the sun. But it's a beautiful camera to feel. It's nowhere near as well. Actually, it's not too much. This is one of my Pentax. I've got lots of Pentax cameras. So this is a Pentax KX digital SLR, and it's lightweight and very well made, and it's got inbuilt, you can turn the image stabilization on this lens on here as well, which is really neat. So let's see if I can just I'll just pause the recording for a minute, just a minute, and I'll come back in a second. Okay, now I'm going to just share a slideshow taken on the Panasonic GH2 14-140 zoom lens, and we'll see if we can do this. We're just going to have to share the screen. Okay, so now we are watching the slideshow prepared on the Mac, and I like the colours that come out. I haven't done too much to the these shots other than to change the contrast a little bit, probably on my iMac in photos. So these are JPEGs just coming straight out the camera, and this gives you some idea. That previous shot was taken from the same spot that one was taken, of what the reach of the 24 to 180 is, and the same with those two shots, both taken from the same place. And so I love the camera and the lenses that go with it. I haven't got any to show you on here. I haven't prepared any to show you from the 20mm lens, but that's a beautiful little fixed lens, very good in low light. I love the greens that come out in some of these plants here, and the saturated colours, and I just enjoy using this system. Love taking these sort of plant shots. I do a bit of this in the backyard here. We've got those sort of plants in the backyard, some of them, particularly when they get a bit of water on them. Like we had a storm the other night, and when you look at the raindrops on the leaves, it gives them that saturated look, literally. And that's another shot inside the nursery. There you go, that's what I mean, the saturated look. This is all sort of hand watering in there, of course, or watering from sprinklers. I love these old fences. Always worth a photograph. Now this little bird is the New Holland honeyeater. Very hard to photograph because they move around so much, and but I was using the same lens there to get in close to him, and a couple of these shots are quite nice. This one at the end is I think that's my favourite one, is it? Getting close anyway. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Like if you like, subscribe if you wish, and that's my little take on the Olympus the Micro Four Thirds system. So I'll catch you next time. See you later.